the 5 do's and the 5 don'ts for your GLP1 Mounjaro journey. Do make sure you listen all the way to the end, because my last do and my last don't were my key ones. So buckle up, riders. Let's get into it. Fabulous Mounjaro munchers. For anyone that doesn't know me, my name's Lauren and I've been on a GLP1 journey on the medication Mounjaro, which has been approved for weight loss in the UK for 3 months now. And previous to this, I did lose 4 stone by myself. So currently, including my 2.5 stone loss with Mounjaro, I've lost 6.5 stone in the last year, which has been fabulous. So I'm now here to give you the tips and tricks that I've learnt along the way during this Mounjaro journey, and indeed during this whole wellness journey. So please, if that's something you're into, and I know you're into it, please do subscribe to this channel, because I will be producing lots more long form videos about things like this, sharing the tips, the chips? That's something I won't be sharing. They're mine. The tips, the tricks, and some funny stories along the way. Please make sure you comment on the videos as well. I really want to be invested in your journey, building up the community, because that's what this is all about. I'm here for it. Before I get into this one, I will also just mention that my other video does share why I decided to go on Mounjaro after losing the 4.5 stone myself, why I then decided to use the tool of Mounjaro in the next chapter of that wellness journey, should we say. So do give that a little look as well. And I will finally preface this by saying, I am not a medical professional. Look at me, I don't look like one, I don't sound like one, I ain't one. I will just share with you my journey and the experiences that I've had, along with a lot of research that I've done going into this. So stay with me, give us a subscribe, let's go for it, shall we? So I'm gonna start us off with our 5 don'ts. Don't do these 5 things on your GLP1 or Mounjaro journey. Just don't. Here we go. Don't number 1. Don't be disappointed if the medication doesn't work bibbidi bobbidi boo straight away for you, because everybody reacts so differently to each dose of this medication. And remember that. There are different doses to go on. So if for you, the lower dose on Mounjaro, I'll always use Mounjaro GLP1 as the reference, because that's the one I'm on. So I won't talk about Zepbound, Wegovy, etc. Although I'm sure similar elements apply. So if their journeys you're on, this will probably still apply, but that's why I will reference Mounjaro in terms of their doses. So the 2.5 dose of Mounjaro is indeed just a loading dose. So for some people, yes, it does annoyingly go, well done, you're off, like it did for me. I'm one of those annoying people that it did work for, quite quickly. I was quite shocked. But for some people, that isn't the case. For some people, it may take a few days to start working, weeks to start working. For some people, even it takes that whole 2.5 month to really start working and getting in the system. And then indeed, sometimes people do increase to the 5 after that first month. I, for example, have been on 2.5 milligrams for my entire 3 months. And I've now got my 4th pen of 2.5 as well, because I'm doing a lot of things to try and help that. And I'll talk about that in a little while as well. So don't get down. Don't get disappointed if you think, well, I'm not feeling the effect. I'm not feeling that appetite suppression, which, by the way, is a side effect and not something we should be aiming for. I'm not feeling that my appetite is changing and that my food choices are changing. Don't be disappointed in a lack of progress at the start, is what I'm trying to say, because everyone is so different. Trust that process, and also work with your provider. If you've got a good provider who's able to coach you through elements of this, like my provider does, I've got the details of my provider in the description below and in the links in my bio and all of that. So if you want to go with my provider, they do give you 25% off if you're based in the UK. But again, that's a separate video. However, you can talk to your provider about things like the concerns you might have around how to get the best out of each dose for you. But never be afraid to do that. And just remember, steady, sustainable weight loss is the key. £1 to £2 a week. I'll say it in each video, lose £1 a week, £1 a week. For a year, you've lost £52, haven't you? Haven't you? So turn that frown upside down, Gertrude. But no, in all seriousness, please don't compare your journey, because it just sucks the experience out of it for you. Embrace it for what it is. You're doing better than what you would have done perhaps without the medication as well. Just don't compare it. My 3rd don't eat these foods. Fatty, greasy, spicy. Now I say don't with caution, because everything in moderation is absolutely fine. I went to a friend's wedding, I had all the snacks, had a bit of cake, but again, I went slow and steady. I had a small amount of it. I had what their mains were, which was probably a few bits of fatty food in there. But again, I went slower on those things and I made sure I filled up on the veg, on the salad as well, so that the other bits and bobs that I had that were a little bit fattier, were a bit greasier perhaps, I wasn't having as much of, because those things take a little bit of time to digest through the system. Please allow me to caveat, I am not a medical professional here at all. I'm just coming from my own experiences and the research that I've seen coming up to this. And a lot of the time when people struggle in those early days or they have those side effects, so many times I say, okay, let's have a look. What have you eaten in that day or that week before? And they'll go, I had a big old pizza. And that pizza's just sat in that stomach and really it's struggling to get digested. There was a D. So often when we have those foods in smaller amounts, rather than the amounts we may well have been having before, not only does it mean that we're building a healthy lifestyle. I want a healthy lifestyle so I can work up a mountain. Yeah, we'll see. But also it just makes it easier in terms of what we're doing to our body. We're injecting a GLP-1, which does slow that digestion down. So it just makes it more comfortable for us if we're not loading it with those things that are notoriously difficult to digest. The fattiness, greasiness, spiciness, things like that. And if you find you are having a few side effects, hopefully if you alleviate that a little bit, come back, see how you've got on. My fourth don't is please don't rush up those doses. I know earlier I said I would talk a little bit more about doses, and this is it. Do not rush up those doses. We have to be on each dose of Mounjaro at least for a minimum of 4 weeks. Minimum, the minimum of 4 weeks. It's not the maximum, it's the minimum. And like I say, I've been on it now for going to my 4th month of 2.5. And what I've done, and I know there's no scientific proof, I know it, but I've actually moved the injection sites around when I'm struggling and when I feel that little bit of food noise coming back, when I've got the urge to purge. Sorry if you can hear some rumbling out there as well. There's definitely diggers going on and I'm not pro enough to have my own mic yet. That's annoying, isn't it? Shut up! So if for you find that the medication is working, and by the medication working, I mean things like you haven't got that urge to purge. Stop it. You know, that food noise isn't there. If you're getting that satiety from food, we're satisfied, we're fuller for longer, we're feeling fierce and fabulous in that sense, then that suggests that the medication's still working. So there's no need to jump up the dose if that's working. Fab. So on my week 7, I started to feel that food noise come back. Yeah, I ate some stuff. Ate 5 gold bars back to back, and I don't even like gold bars. So I knew that was my old habits coming back in. So I moved my injection site round. I was a tummy jabber, I moved to the leg. And suddenly, I felt great again. Whether it was a placebo effect, I don't know and I don't care, people. It worked. And then after a couple of weeks, I moved back to my tummy. And again, it worked and has made me be able to keep on the 2.5. So not only from kind of a health point of view, but from a monetary point of view as well. It's a bonus. It's a bonus. So do have a little bit of think of that when you're thinking about moving up the doses, or you think, I haven't lost weight, or I've gained weight this week. It doesn't mean that the medication's not working. It means that we probably went face down, bottom up in something because we just wanted to. You know, this isn't a magic tool. It's not going to cure everything. We're still going to have those moments of, you know, temptation being around. For me, it's when stuff is in the house. My other half, the other day, he brought home scones. Who ate the scones? I ate the scones. I was feeling strong without them here, but the second they're in the house, they cannot be in this vicinity. Get them out of her. You're not safe with me. I felt like some kind of vampire. No, you know, in Twilight, when, what's her name? Ella, whatever. She cuts her finger, ever she cuts, and the other man's like, get her away from me, she's not safe. That's how I felt about those poor scones. They didn't stand a chance, not with me here. I know you're in there, Sconersons. So we will have those moments, but then it's about reflecting and saying, okay, was that the fact that the medication wasn't working? Or was that the fact that I just had a half hour of fun? Bear that in mind. And my final don't, which is quite an important one because people get hung up on this. Don't expect the weight loss to continue at the result it may have started. So for some people, they lose weight quite quickly and then they get disappointed when they start to I hate that phrase, when they start to lose £1 to £2 a week, which is perfect. Absolute perfection to be doing £1 to £2 a week. It's sustainable, it's achievable. That steady, maintained weight loss will mean that we're less likely to have the elements that can be related to the GLP-1s that people think that are caused by the GLP-1, such as hair loss. Now, the GLP-1 doesn't cause that. What causes that is rapid weight loss. You do any kind of rapid diet, you will suffer with hair loss because the nutrients aren't going to your hair. They're making sure you stay alive. So having a slower, maintainable, sustainable weight loss is key. Things like that have better nutrients in our body. Our hair's still growing. Our nails, our skin still has the elasticity. So many benefits from a slower, gradual weight loss. And let's be honest, we've all probably lost weight quickly in the past. And where has it got us? On our GLP1 medication. So do bear that in mind as well. Now, let's get on to the do's, shall we? And again, as I say, the last do for me was crucial. Now, some of these might be quite obvious ones, but they are key, especially for your first week or for your first month or just when you're learning to get into it. Start to know to do this. Number 1, mama's gotta eat, yeah. You gotta eat. Make sure you're eating that food. On my first week, I didn't eat enough at all. So I felt tired, I felt dizzy, I felt headachy. Mama was a grouchy beaver. Sounds like a country song. But had I been eating enough calories, I would have felt better. Now there's ways to find out your calorie deficit. We still need to be eating in a deficit. So you can look up what's called TDEE calculators online. I personally use one called the James Smith TDEE calculator, of which I will link in the description below. You put your height, your weight, your age, your activity level in that. Of course, help me, as your activity level increases, the more calories you'll be having to consume because the more energy you're burning up there. Also with our foods, yes, we focus on protein and you would have heard that a lot, but make sure you're also focusing on that fibre because protein by itself is great for us. We need the protein in our body, helps us feel fuller for longer, helps us produce a keratin, which is great for our hair, skin, nails, all of that jazz. But protein alone will cause us a constipation. Don't make me squeeze. Add that fibre in. Look up high fibre foods. Whatever you need to get that fibre in, it's going to be your best friend, y'all. My second do drink your water. Again, this is one of the key ones. I'll go on to the last two are perhaps ones that are maybe not as obvious, but do drink your water. 2 to 3 litres of water a day. Not only is it great for keeping us hydrated, it's great for your skin, great for their overall energy, great for just hydration. We've got to keep hydrated. It helps us with weight loss. It also helps us with our digestion as well. Keeps everything moving through. I try and get myself at half a litre to a litre down in the morning alone, just to keep things moving like a rhinestone cowboy. Number 3, do consider taking some supplements. Now, I will say not everyone needs supplements at all. And if you are on any other medication at all or have any other complications with your medical history, do also consult your GP, your provider, about what supplements you can and can't take. But you may well want to consider a multivitamin. You might want to consider adding collagen because that's great for your skin elasticity, hair and nails. And you may want to consider some kind of a magnesium, which is great for your sleep, great for your muscles as well. But have a little look and consider some supplements. They're the only supplements I take daily: a multivitamin, collagen in my tea, and magnesium. And collagen and magnesium are 2 things I was taking anyway before this journey. I do just make sure I have a multivitamin now as well. But again, to reiterate, some people don't need any supplements whatsoever. So don't feel that pressure into buying things if you're not sure that you need them for you. It's also probably quite handy to go to your GP maybe every quarter or however much you feel like it, just to get your blood checks done to see if you are deficient in anything or you have actually got too much of something. It can't hurt. It can only ever do you benefits. So that's that one. My 4th do is do take pictures and do take your measurements. We can often rely on those scales, but the non-scale victories have, for me, been what I've been the most proud of. I'm going to do a whole video about my Thorpe Park visit, but for me, that was such a non-scale victory. And I won't go into the detail now, but I really hope when I put that up, you can have a little look into it because it was such a big moment for me. But take those pictures and those measurements because sometimes those scales will look back at us and go, "You're not losing today. Sorry." And it can make us feel rubbish. Actually, it may be that you've increased your exercise that week. So often that can alter the number on the scales as well. So by taking those measurements, you can see progress in different ways. The same with pictures, the same with having a clothing item. It might be a bit too small for you now, but start taking that progress and slowly but surely you'll find that you're getting into those jeans you didn't get into. Or the shirt that fit perfectly before perhaps is too baggy now for you. So keeping those comparisons are a lovely way for you to look back at. And I know people like us, we don't want to take pictures of ourselves. Don't look at me. Look away. It's so handy on this journey. You will thank yourself so much. I took a picture of myself last year and it wasn't even me at my heaviest. I was at 18.5 stone. I was in my sports bra and my pants. It was on my hidden files on my phone. And I came across it and I thought, thank goodness I took that picture, because I would never have believed that I was at that size, because I always took pictures from a high angle. So I never really got the true representation of how I looked. The few pictures where you do see my whole body and I'm not half hidden behind someone is some menace, usually my other half, taking the picture of me off guard, but of which I'm now really thankful he's got some of those pictures. So get those in the bank, get them in there. And my last do is so vital. This is the one you've been hanging on for. And this is the one that I found the most important for my personal overall success of managing to lose 2.5 stone on Mounjaro in the last 3 months to total my 6.5 stone weight loss, which is now, it's 91 pounds in that year. And that is build your supportive community around you. This can be such a lonely journey without these kind of social media platforms, without YouTube, without TikTok there. I'm gonna link my other places where you can follow me below as well, because building a community of people around us that are experiencing the same things, have been on a very similar journey to us, is so comforting. And I can't describe how much I love seeing people succeed on this medication, because we have struggled feeling like a failure for too long, y'all. And we're finally realising we're not a failure. We were playing a different game to everyone else. You know, it's like we were playing a game of Scrabble and we were given all the rubbish letters. We were given the Z, the Y, the X, and we were like, how can I make a word out of this? I'm really trying. But Sharon's got all the good letters. She's got the consonants and the vowels. And finally, we've been given some good letters and we can make those words now. I mean, I don't really know what analogy here I'm making, but I'm trying to say that finally we have the possibility of this working for us. We've got to put our own work in. We've got to put our own time in. We've got to put our own effort in. We've got to be kind to ourselves. And that is what the community side of it does. That allows us to be kind to ourselves, because those days where we're perhaps not feeling kind to ourselves, or we want to say, I haven't done great today, even though I'm taking this medication, I've still ate 3 chocolate chip cookies. Whoops. Those are the days where you then come to a community and they say things like, it's a day. It's a day. We're not going to be sat on our little bed when we're at the pearly gates awaiting to be greeted by our maker and think to ourselves, oh, I remember that day when I had 3 chocolate chips. I regret that day. We're not going to care less. We're going to think of the overall journey that we went on and the fact that we're healthier. Well, maybe not if we're about to be at the pearly gates, but our life was healthier and fulfilled. So be proud of yourself, because I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being here, watching this video, meaning that you're invested in yourself now and in the journey that you're on. So I'll repeat it. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you like the video and you share it out and you comment on each other's comments. Build that community of support and love around you. So if that's something you're interested in, stay along on the journey with me. Stay on for the ride. Dug, 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 dug. Here comes a loop-de-loop. Because it's going to be a fun one. I hope those 5 do's and don'ts have helped you. Let me know in the comments below any of the do's and don'ts that you have as well and that you might recommend. I had so many lovely comments about my previous video that I did that shares to you how I lost the 6.5 stone, which again is 91 pounds in the last year, and why I decided after losing 4 stone of that to move on to Mounjaro. So please give that a little watch as well, because you'll find a little bit more about me and why this Mounjaro GLP1 tool now means so much to me as well. Make sure you have the notification bell rung as well so that you can see when I do go live, and I'd love to catch up with you as well. Have a gorgeous week, everyone. Have lots of fun, and I'll speak to you very, very soon, Munchers!